Welcome to this week's episode of Top Secret Garage, where the cars are cool and kindness is free. Today, I'm answering a burning question that many of you have asked me when you've seen me at car shows, at the gas station, giving rides to kids, sharing Hot Wheels with everyone. I think it's time to set the record straight and tell you what inspired me to share all these cars with all of you. Don't forget to stick around for the Wheel of Fun at the end of this episode, where you can win this crazy Lamborghini Diablo and Lamborghini LM002. Well, my car story starts just like many of yours. You're a little kid, you play with toys, you got Legos. They didn't have those when I was a kid. You had Hot Wheels cars. I used to play with Hot Wheels cars on my grandma's kitchen floor. And every time I'd go visit her in Pennsylvania, she would take me to the grocery store and she would always let me buy a Hot Wheels car. $1, one Hot Wheels car, almost every single day I went to visit her. She was out in Erie, Pennsylvania, so I didn't see her very much, but I had some Hot Wheels collection at her house. So cars were always so cool to me. I always loved them. It was 1997, and for my birthday, she sent me a Car and Driver magazine, and on the cover of it was an insane blue with white stripes Dodge Viper GTS. And that's what started it all for me when it came to real cars, because I didn't know anything about real cars when I first started playing with Hot Wheels cars, rolling around on the kitchen floor. But then I saw a life-sized Hot Wheels car, and I knew I had to have it. So I was 13, and everyone would laugh at me. Steve, you're not getting a Viper. All my friends, a Viper? No way. I was completely obsessed with cars. I wanted to learn everything I could about them. What are the engines like? What does it mean when it's a V6 or a V12 or a flat six? I started reading and reading and reading. Cars were everything. My room was decorated. I started collecting 1/18 scale car models. These are from my room when I was a kid. I had a McLaren F1 LM poster on my wall, and that's the actual one now here in this crazy garage. Everything I could do was wrapped around cars. Just cars. I didn't care about anything else, just cars. One year when I was probably 14 years old, I snuck out on Easter Sunday on my bicycle. I took the Metro North down to Manhattan to the New York International Auto Show. I walked across Manhattan from Grand Central to the Javits Center. I went to go see all the cars. I snuck back to the train station, got back on my bike, and got home in time for Easter dinner. Mom, if you're watching, I'm probably gonna get in trouble for this. Then I decided to do something even more crazy. When I was 15, my sister and I went to go visit my uncle in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. But we couldn't afford a plane ticket. We took a Greyhound bus, just the two of us, 14 years old and 15 years old. And along the way, we stopped for maybe the 50th time at a rest stop. There was a McDonald's. It was Fort Pierce, Florida. I was so sick of McDonald's. No more Big Macs. I couldn't take it anymore. I told my sister, let's go walk across the street and get Taco Bell. And as we're walking across the street past the gas station, I turn and I look and I see the most incredible car I've ever seen. It was a Lamborghini Diablo VT Roadster, black with a cream interior and black piping. I had never seen a Lamborghini up close in my life, and I definitely had never seen one driving around on the road. My heart instantly stopped. All that mattered was getting a picture of that car. And by the way, this is 1999. There's no cell phones. There's no GoPros. I told my sister, lay in front of that Lamborghini and don't let the owner leave until I get a disposable camera so I can come out and take some pictures of it. And like a great sister, she did exactly what I said. I go running into the gas station. I plopped down my last 15 bucks for a Kodak disposable camera. I don't even think I got my change. It was my last 15 bucks for the trip, but it was the most important 15 bucks I ever spent. So as the cashier hands me my camera and I'm ripping it apart, running out the door to go see that car, I walk out and see my sister talking to a really nice man, and I'm like, sir, can I take a picture of your car? He smiles, he chuckles, and he says, you can take as many pictures of the car as you want, but it's her car. And I turn and look, and there is a beautiful blonde woman. She has her hair up through her golf visor. She's got big black sunglasses on. And so I say to her, ma'am, would it be okay if I take a picture of your car? And she said, of course it is, in this really thick Southern accent. She had a big smile on, and she was so kind. For the next 15 minutes, she stood there and talked to me like I was the only person in the world. She asked me, do you want to have the doors up? I'll put them up for you for your photos. She asked me, do you want me to open the engine bay so you can look at the engine? She even asked me if I wanted to have the roof put on. Do you want to sit in it? Honestly, I think I was too scared, and that is one thing I definitely regret. So after a few minutes of talking to and her husband, she figured out that me and my sister, we were not with any adults. There were no parents around. And she asked us, what are you guys doing down here? Where are your parents? And we said, well, we're taking the Greyhound bus to visit my uncle in Fort Lauderdale. And you know what she said? She said, gosh, I wish I had back seats in this Lamborghini, because if I did, I would take you guys the rest of the way. That's where I'm headed. Never before in my life have I wished for a 4-seater Diablo, before that day or after that day. So even though I was so enamored with the car, my heart was racing, I had butterflies in my stomach, and all I could focus on was how insanely beautiful that black Diablo was. In the back of my mind, I was thinking, this woman is so kind to me. She's taking time out of her day to talk to some little kid. She just treated me like I was the only person in the world at that moment, and the most important thing in the world was sharing that car with me. And that was one of the moments where I decided that if I ever had a chance to get my Viper, or ever was fortunate enough to be able to share cars with people, especially a Lamborghini, that I was gonna definitely do that. So now we've done so much crazy stuff. We went camping in a Lamborghini Huracan Performante. The family next to me definitely thought I was crazy. We picked kids up from high school in the Lamborghini. We've taken random strangers for rides in the Aston Martin and the Porsches. I realized how much of an impact that woman had on my life. And you're never gonna believe this. I had no idea who she was. Well, just about 2 years later, I'm in the kitchen and I hear the TV in the other room. And it's that same woman's voice. That sweet, energetic, heavy Southern accent. I run in there to see if it's her. Holy smokes. It was Dolly Parton. I knew the name Dolly Parton. I knew in general what she looked like. I didn't know that was Dolly Parton. After figuring this out, I read up on Dolly Parton. She's one of the nicest people in the world. She treats everyone so nicely. She does libraries for kids to make sure kids have access to books. She does tons of charity work, and she is just one of the sweetest people in the whole world. I know Dolly gets tons of mail. She has fans around the world, but I said to myself, you know what? I have to write this woman a letter. There's only one way to get in touch with her, and I know she's not on YouTube. So I hand wrote her a letter telling her the story of when I met her in Fort Pierce, Florida at that gas station over 20 years ago. And I wanted her to know just how much she inspired me and how much I've paid it forward since that day. But the truth is, I've been doing this since I got my Viper. The first day I got my Viper, I was driving home from Chicago back to New York, and guess what? My first gas stop, there was 2 guys at the gas station staring at the car. And I said, guys, jump in. You want to sit in it, take pictures? Let's go. And I never stopped. I've taken kids for rides at car shows. I used to go to car meets in Shelton, Connecticut, and I used to take people for rides through the Merritt Parkway Tunnel. If you know that tunnel, you know that we're gonna have to take this car with these crazy pipes to that tunnel and shoot some fire for you guys and hear that V12 scream. When my father-in-law got his Aventador SV Roadster, we'd stop for breakfast at a deli, and a kid would pull up, driving their BMW, and say, oh my God, that's my favorite car in the whole world. And he would quietly hand me the keys and say, take him for a ride down the block. Now, I don't know about you, but if Dolly Parton had taken me for a ride in that Diablo, I think I might have had a heart attack. So I sent Dolly Parton that letter with a bunch of photos of her car that you guys have seen in this video, as well as a bunch of pictures of me taking kids for rides in the Huracan and the Aventador and all the other cars and having such a great time. The truth is, I would have probably done this anyway, but I'll never ever forget how important it was to me that Dolly Parton shared 15 minutes of her precious time with me to share her car and inspire me for a lifetime. If you have a cool car story of meeting someone famous and them sharing their cars with you, or even just a regular person sharing a really cool car with you, write it in the comments below, because I love hearing stories like that. They are just the best. So if you enjoyed hearing this story and you have a way of getting in touch with Dolly Parton or someone that she knows, please share it with her. I would love for her to know what an impact she made on me and how much she inspired Top Secret Garage's love of sharing cars with kids of all ages, and how much that 15 minutes she spent with a little kid at a gas station in Florida really meant. But now it's time for our favorite, the Wheel of Fun. We're giving away this vintage Lamborghini Diablo Hot Wheels and this LM002. Let's give this wheel a spin and see who's gonna win. You can also pick 2 cars from the wall. Don't forget to check out this Dolly Parton coaster. We're at 1,104 subscribers. We're gonna do a big 5,000 subscriber giveaway, but for today, it's Mary Rada winning on the wheel. Congratulations, Mary Rada. Reach out to me at topsecretgarage319@gmail.com or DM me on Instagram at topsecretgarage319. If you enjoyed watching this video, it made you smile, share it with someone you love, and I'll see you next time.